करते हैं और कोई आपको नोटिस ही नहीं करता। आप बोलते हैं पर कोई आंसर ही नहीं देता। ऐसा फील होता है जैसे आप एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करते। ऐसा लगेगा ना कि एकदम गुस्सा और डिस्पेयर आ जाएगा। अमेरिकन फिलोसोफर विलियम जेम्स ने इस फीलिंग को डिस्क्राइब किया था और यही आम इंसान की स्टेटस एंग्जाइटी है। आज हम इसी एंग्जाइटी को एक्सप्लोर करेंगे महाभारत के सबसे एक्साइटिंग और ट्रैजिक कैरेक्टर के थ्रू।
कर्णा। और कर्णा की स्टोरी पता है सिर्फ एक ओल्ड स्टोरी नहीं है, इट्स अ मिरर, एक आईना जिसमें हम सब कहीं ना कहीं अपने आप को देखते हैं, अपनी आइडेंटिटी, अपनी वर्थ और सोसाइटी में अपनी जगह के लिए स्ट्रगल करते हुए।
इस फैसिनेटिंग जर्नी को शुरू करने से पहले दोस्त, मेक श्योर यू हिट दैट सब्सक्राइब बटन, लाइक करो और नोटिफिकेशन बेल ऑन कर लो। यू डोंट वांट टू मिस दिस।
डेफिनेटली।
तो आज की इस गहरी चर्चा में हम क्या क्या कवर करेंगे। सबसे पहले वील मीट कर्णा एट अ टूर्नामेंट जहां उसकी एंट्री एक धमाके की तरह होती है। फिर हम उसकी रियल आइडेंटिटी और उसके स्ट्रगल को समझेंगे। वील अनपैक द आइडिया ऑफ स्टेटस एंग्जाइटी, कास्ट, लॉयल्टी एंड जेनरोसिटी।
हाँ, और हम ये भी देखेंगे कि कैसे द्रौपदी का एक सेंटेंस उसकी लाइफ को हॉन्ट करता है, कैसे कृष्णा उसे एक अनबिलीवेबल ऑफर देता है, और फाइनली उसकी लाइफ के सबसे बड़े मॉरल डिलेमा क्या थे।
तो चलो लेट्स अनपैक दिस। टॉपिक 1, द ग्रैंड टूर्नामेंट एंड कर्णा's ड्रामेटिक एंट्री। ब्रॉड माइक्रो थीम, द स्ट्रगल फॉर रिकॉग्निशन इन अ हायरार्किकल सोसाइटी।
सही है। सो द फर्स्ट टॉपिक,
द टूर्नामेंट, व्हाटएवर यू हैव डन, आई शैल डू बेटर।
इसका शॉर्ट डेफिनेशन ये है कि ये वो मोमेंट है जहां यंग प्रिंसेस अपनी मार्शल आर्ट स्किल्स पब्लिक में डिस्प्ले करते हैं। बेसिकली एक एंशिएंट स्टाइल टैलेंट शो फॉर वॉरियर्स।
अच्छा, इसका कोई रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल?
बिल्कुल। इमेजिन स्कूल का एनुअल स्पोर्ट्स डे है, स्कूल चैंपियन लेट्स से अर्जुन सारे गोल्ड मेडल जीत रहा है, क्राउड उसके लिए चेयर कर रहा है। सडनली फंक्शन खत्म होने से पहले एक अननोन स्टूडेंट आता है और कहता है मैं इससे बेहतर कर सकता हूँ। दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ ड्रामा वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट।
वाओ, ओके, सो कॉन्टेक्स्ट सेट है। टूर्नामेंट का सीन है, पांडु और धृतराष्ट्र के बेटे द्रोणा से ट्रेनिंग के बाद अपनी स्किल्स दिखाने आते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली। पूरा शहर प्रिंसेस से लेकर कॉमन पीपल तक उन्हें देखने आता है और पूरा फोकस है अर्जुन पर। टेक्स्ट उसे डिस्क्राइब करता है लाइक अ रेन क्लाउड, अ ग्लो विद लाइटनिंग। वो फायर, वाटर, विंड क्रिएट करने वाले वेपन्स यूज करता है। ही इज द स्टार ऑफ द शो।
क्राउड का फेवरेट।
हाँ, क्राउड का फेवरेट। पर जब शो ऑलमोस्ट खत्म हो चुका है, गेट से एक थंडरबोल्ट जैसी आवाज आती है। एंटर करता है कर्णा। उसने इनबॉर्न आर्मर और इयररिंग्स पहने हैं। उसका चेहरा चमक रहा है। ही इज द मैग्निफिसेंट सन ऑफ द सन गॉड सूर्या। वो आते ही सीधा अर्जुना को चैलेंज करता है। पार्था, व्हाटएवर यू हैव डन, आई शैल डू बेटर।
और वो करके दिखाता है, सिर्फ रेप्लिकेट नहीं, ही डज इट बेटर। कूल ना?
बहुत कूल। और इस एक मोमेंट ने सब कुछ बदल दिया। क्राउड जो अर्जुना को चीयर कर रहा था, अब एकदम हश्ड है। अचानक से एक नया कंटेंडर आ गया है। दिस इज द मोमेंट कर्णा अनाउंसेस हिज अराइवल एंड हिज लाइफ लॉन्ग राइवलरी विद अर्जुना।
सो ये एंट्री उसके कैरेक्टर को डिफाइन करती है, बोल्ड, एम्बिशियस और हमेशा अर्जुना के शैडो से निकलने की कोशिश में।
सही।
तो बेसिकली कर्णा जस्ट वॉकड इन एंड स्टोल द शो फ्रॉम अर्जुना।
एग्जैक्टली। ये उसकी स्किल और कॉन्फिडेंस दोनों दिखाता है। पर ये उसके लाइफ लॉन्ग स्ट्रगल की शुरुआत भी थी, याद रखना।
क्राउड का रिएक्शन क्या था? वर दे शॉक्ड?
एब्सोल्युटली। टेक्स्ट कहता है अ शडर वेंट थ्रू द पीपल। उन्हें समझ ही नहीं आया कि ये स्ट्रेंजर कौन है जो उनके हीरो को चैलेंज कर रहा है।
और एक डिटेल है कि कर्णा ने द्रोणा और कृपा को विद नन टू ग्रेट कर्टेसी बाउ किया। इसका क्या मतलब है?
ये एक हिंट है कि कर्णा एस्टैब्लिशमेंट से खुश नहीं था। वो उनका रिस्पेक्ट तो करता था, पर शायद उसके मन में एक रिजेंटमेंट था कि उसको ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी पहले क्यों नहीं मिली। समझे?
सो हिज फर्स्ट पब्लिक अपीयरेंस वाज अ डायरेक्ट चैलेंज टू द सिस्टम।
हाँ, सिस्टम को। यू कैन से दैट। ही डिडंट जस्ट चैलेंज अर्जुना स्किल, ही चैलेंज द होल सेटअप जो अर्जुना को हीरो मानकर बैठा था।
क्या ये उसकी स्टेटस एंग्जाइटी का पहला साइन था?
बिल्कुल। ही वांटेड टू प्रूव ही वाज नॉट जस्ट समबडी बट द बेस्ट, और इसके लिए उसने सबसे पब्लिक स्टेज चुना।
Interesting. Now pause and practicing this part aloud. Karna's entry was not just an arrival. It was a statement against the established order.
परफेक्ट।
So, mini recap. In short, Karna's dramatic entry in the tournament established him as Arjuna's equal and began his public struggle for recognition.
सही है। अब आगे बढ़ते हैं।
Topic 2. Karna's secret origin and the moment of humiliation. Broad micro theme. The conflict between birth identity and raised identity.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है ये।
Heading है A Faded Lotus. Karna's lineage is questioned.
सो इसका शॉर्ट डेफिनेशन ये है कि ये वो क्रूशियल मोमेंट है जब कर्णा को उसकी फैमिली बैकग्राउंड बताने के लिए कहा जाता है, जिसके कारण उसे पब्लिक ह्यूमिलिएशन फेस करनी पड़ती है।
इसका रियल लाइफ एग्जाम्पल क्या होगा?
सो जो एक हाई प्रोफाइल जॉब इंटरव्यू में आपकी स्किल्स अमेजिंग है, पर रिक्रूटर आपसे कहता है सॉरी वी ओनली हायर फ्रॉम स्पेसिफिक एलीट कॉलेजेस। आपकी सारी क्वालिफिकेशंस उस एक मोमेंट में इररिलेवेंट हो जाती हैं। दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंड टू कर्णा।
आउच। ठीक है, सो द स्टोरी कंटिन्यूज। कर्णा ने अर्जुना को डुअल के लिए चैलेंज किया। दोनों हीरोज तैयार हैं, पर तभी मैच रेफरी कृपा रूल्स अनाउंस करते हैं।
हाँ, और यहीं एपिक हमें कर्णा की बैक स्टोरी बताती है। ही इज द सन ऑफ कुंती एंड द सन गॉड सूर्य। कुंती ने दुर्वासा के बूंद से उसे पाया था, पर अनमैरिड होने के कारण उसने बेबी को रिवर में बहा दिया था। उसे एक चैरियटियर अधिराथा और उसकी वाइफ राधा ने पाला। सो बाय बर्थ ही इज अ प्रिंस, बट बाय अपब्रिंगिंग अ चैरियटियर्स सन, एक सूत पुत्र।
तो कृपा कहते हैं अर्जुना कुरु वंश का प्रिंस है, तुम्हें भी अपनी मदर, फादर और क्षत्रिय लिनेज का नाम बताना होगा।
और ये सुनकर कर्ण का चेहरा फेड्स लाइक अ लोटस दैट इज बीन शावर्ड बाय द रेन। ही इज स्पीचलेस एंड ह्यूमिलिएटेड। उसकी स्किल्स सडनली सेकेंडरी हो जाती हैं और उसका बैकग्राउंड प्राइमरी।
This is the first but not the last time his caste becomes a barrier. ये उसके अंदर एक गहरा घाव छोड़ जाता है. It reinforces his feeling that no matter how skilled he is, society will always judge him by his birth.
बिल्कुल. इस मोमेंट पर उसकी आइडेंटिटी का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सामने आता है. He is a prince who lives as a commoner, and this secret is both his strength and his greatest vulnerability.
Wait, so Kunti was right there in the stands. Did she know it was her son?
Yes, the text says she recognized him and she fainted. Imagine her pain. अपने दो बेटों को एक दूसरे से लड़ने के लिए तैयार देखकर. बहुत बहुत ट्रैजिक मोमेंट था ये.
कृपा ने ये रूल क्यों इन्फोर्स किया? Was he trying to protect Arjuna?
देखो रूल्स तो रूल्स हैं. अ ड्यूअल ऑफ इक्वल्स में लिनेज बताना was part of the protocol. पर इसका इफेक्ट ये हुआ कि करना पब्लिकली शेम हुआ. थोड़ा सोच लो, was it fair?
The description, face fades like a lotus, is so powerful. What does it signify?
It signifies his helplessness and sadness. लोटस ब्यूटी और प्योरिटी का सिंबल है, पर बारिश से वो मुरझा जाता है. सिमिलरली कर्णा की ब्रिलियंस उस एक क्वेश्चन से फेड हो गई.
अच्छा, तो अगर कर्णा ने सच बता दिया होता कि वो सूर्य का बेटा है, तो क्या होता?
गुड क्वेश्चन. लोग शायद विश्वास ना करते. उसके पास कोई प्रूफ नहीं था, और उस वक्त वो खुद को अधिराता और राधा का ही बेटा मानता था.
How did this moment shape his future actions?
It fueled his resentment and his desperate need to prove his worth. It also made him fiercely loyal to the one person who stood up for him in that moment. और वो आने वाला है.
Identity was a paradox, a prince by birth, a charioteer's son by life, and a warrior by swabhav.
स्वभाव मतलब by his very nature.
Mini recap, in short, when asked about his lineage, Karna faces public humiliation, highlighting the rigid social structure that valued birth over merit.
सही है. आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Topic 3. Duryodhana's intervention and Bhima's mockery. Broad micro theme, finding an ally in an enemy's camp.
अब आती है एंट्री दुर्योधन की.
Heading है The Rise of a Friendship, King of Anga.
शॉर्ट डेफिनेशन, ये वो टर्निंग पॉइंट है जहां दुर्योधन कर्णा की पोटेंशियल को पहचान कर उसे बचाता है और एक लाइफ लॉन्ग फ्रेंडशिप की नींव रखता है.
इसका रियल लाइफ एग्जाम्पल?
एक स्टार्टअप फाउंडर को सोचो जिसके पास ब्रिलियंट आइडिया है पर फंडिंग नहीं. सब इन्वेस्टर्स रिजेक्ट कर देते हैं. फिर एक राइवल कंपनी का सीईओ उसमें पोटेंशियल देखता है और उसको फंड कर देता है. दैट फाउंडर वुड बी लॉयल टू हिम फॉरएवर, राइट? दैट्स दुर्योधना फॉर कर्णा.
अच्छा, तो कर्णा शर्मिंदा खड़ा है. तभी दुर्योधना सीन में आता है. उसने रियलाइज कर लिया है कि ये वॉरियर पांडवास के अगेंस्ट काम आ सकता है.
बिल्कुल. दुर्योधना's primary motivation is his enmity with the Pandavas, especially Arjuna. He sees Karna not just as a great warrior, but as a weapon against his cousins. तो दुर्योधना रूल्स को चैलेंज करता है. He says, किंग बनने के 3 तरीके हैं: to be born one, to become a hero, or to lead an army.
और फिर वो डिक्लेयर करता है, if Arjuna cannot duel with a non-king, I shall anoint him king of Anga.
और वहीं ऑन द स्पॉट कर्ण को अंगा का किंग बना दिया जाता है. बट वेट, द ट्विस्ट. तभी कर्ण के फॉस्टर फादर अधिरथा वहां आते हैं. वो एक सिंपल चैरियटियर हैं. कर्ण उनके रिस्पेक्ट में झुकता है. ये देखकर भीमा जोर से हंसता है और टॉन्ट करता है, सन ऑफ अ चैरियटियर, यू शुड स्टिक टू द विप. ये जीर कर्ण को आग लगा देता है.
एक तरफ दुर्योधना का एक्ट जो कर्ण को एक स्टेटस और आइडेंटिटी देता है एंड सीमेंट्स देयर फ्रेंडशिप,
और दूसरी तरफ भीमा का कमेंट जो एनिमिटी को और भी गहरा कर देता है.
तो दुर्योधना's timely intervention gives Karan the one thing he desperately wanted: status. But Bhima's words remind him that society will never let him forget his lowly origins.
Perfectly summarized.
So, was Duryodhana's move purely strategic, or did he genuinely respect Karan?
It started as a brilliant strategic move, but it grew into a genuine deep friendship. दुर्योधना कर्ण को उसकी स्किल के लिए वैल्यू करता था, उसके बैकग्राउंड के लिए नहीं.
The quote, "How could a doe give birth to a tiger that shines like the sun?" What is Duryodhana implying here?
He is directly challenging the idea that birth defines a person. He's saying, look at him. He is so magnificent. He cannot possibly be from a simple family. It's a defense of merit over birth. It's a very powerful statement.
Powerful indeed. और भीमा का रिएक्शन इतना हार्श क्यों था?
Bhima was known for his bluntness and temper. वो सोशल हायरार्की में स्ट्रांगली बिलीव करता था. उसके लिए एक सूतपुत्रा का प्रिंस बनना और अर्जुना को चैलेंज करना एक मजाक था.
How did Bhima's mockery affect Karna?
The text says, a slight tremor on Karna's lower lip. ये दिखाता है कि उसको कितना हर्ट हुआ. It was like rubbing salt on his wound. This insult fuels his hatred for the Pandavas for the rest of his life.
So in one evening, Karna gained a kingdom, a powerful friend, and 5 powerful enemies.
Perfectly put. That evening set the stage for the entire conflict of the Mahabharata. समझे?
Got it. Okay, let's practice this. Practice presenting this sequence. Kripa's question created the problem. Duryodhana's action provided a solution. Bhima's words created a lifelong wound.
Excellent.
Mini recap. In short, Duryodhana gives Karna status and wins his lifelong loyalty, while Bhima's insult solidifies Karna's position as a Pandava adversary.
चलो आगे.
Topic 4. The power of the snub. Draupadi Swayamvara. Broad micro-theme. The pain of rejection and its long-lasting consequences.
The Swayamvara. This is a critical event.
Heading, I do not choose a charioteer.
इसका definition simple है. This is the incident where Princess Draupadi publicly rejects Karna during her bride choice Swayamvara ceremony because of his low social status, even though he might have been skilled enough to win.
इसका real life example.
Imagine you're at a dance competition. You perform flawlessly, better than anyone else. But the judge disqualifies you saying your shoes aren't from a recognized brand. It's a rejection based on a superficial label, not your actual talent. That's the sting Karna felt.
समझ गए. सो कर्णा अब किंग ऑफ अंगा है, द्रुपदा के कोर्ट में जाता है फॉर द्रौपदीज स्वयंवरा. ही इज एन एम्बिशियस नोबलमैन.
हाँ, और टेस्ट बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. स्ट्रिंगिंग अ स्टिफ बो एंड हिटिंग अ टाइनी मूविंग टारगेट. बड़े-बड़े प्रिंसेस फेल हो जाते हैं. फिर एक वेरिएंट रीडिंग ऑफ द टेक्स्ट के अकॉर्डिंग कर्ना स्टेप्स अप. ही इज अबाउट टू सक्सीड या शायद सक्सीड कर चुका है जब द्रौपदी उसे रोकती है. शी डिक्लेयर्स लाउडली फॉर एवरीवन टू हियर, आई डू नॉट चूज अ चैरियटियर.
उफ, दिस इज अ क्रशिंग पब्लिक ह्यूमिलिएशन. और ये एक ऐसी वुमन से आ रहा है जिसे वो डिजायर करता है.
बिल्कुल. दिस रिजेक्शन पॉइजन्स हिज फीलिंग्स फॉर हर. उसके लेटर जो हार्श वर्ड्स थे ना फॉर हर इन द गैम्बलिंग हॉल, वो यहीं से स्टेम करते हैं. इट रीइंफोर्सेस द आइडिया दैट नो मैटर व्हाट टाइटल ही होल्ड्स, हिज पास्ट विल ऑलवेज डिफाइन हिम.
और टू मेक मैटर्स वर्स अर्जुना, जो वहां एक ब्राह्मण की डिस्गाइज में है, टेस्ट सक्सीड कर जाता है और द्रौपदी को जीत लेता है.
It's a double blow for Karna. Rejection and defeat at the hands of his rival.
So why is this rejection even more painful than Bhima's mockery?
Because it's a romantic and public rejection from a powerful, beautiful woman. Bhima was a rival, but Draupadi represented a social and personal aspiration. Her words cut deeper. Yaar, socho.
Did Draupadi have the right to reject him?
It was her Swayamvara or self-choice, so technically yes. But her reason was based on caste prejudice, not on his character or skill. The epic uses this to show the deep-rooted nature of social hierarchy.
Acha. The source mentions a variant reading. What does that mean?
Mahabharata के बहुत सारे versions हैं. In some popular tellings, Karna lifts the bow but is stopped before he can shoot. In others, he fails. But in the one cited here, he is successful and then rejected. The outcome is the same. Humiliation.
How does this event connect to the later horrific incident of Draupadi's disrobing?
It's a direct line. जब द्रौपदी को कोर्ट में ड्रैग किया जाता है, कर्ना ही वो है जो उसे हार्लॉट कहता है और उसे डिसरोब करने का ऑर्डर देता है. उसका repressed anger और humiliation from the Swayamvara explodes in that moment. It's his form of revenge.
So, one snub had catastrophic consequences.
Yes, it's a powerful lesson on how words and actions, especially those rooted in prejudice, can create cycles of revenge and suffering. याद रखना.
Got it. Okay, time to practice. Practice saying, Draupadi's rejection, I do not choose a charioteer, was not just a personal snub, it was a societal verdict that echoed throughout Karna's life.
Well said.
Mini recap. In short, Draupadi's public rejection of Karna at her Swayamvara because of his caste becomes a source of deep-seated resentment that has tragic future consequences.
ठीक है. अब let's talk about the effects of this anxiety.
Topic 5. The psychological effects of status anxiety. Broad micro theme. How social pressure shapes personality and behavior.
Great. So the heading is Vaikartanya, the boaster.
इसका मतलब
वीकरताना का मतलब है one who boasts of his own valor. कर्णा को यह नाम मिला क्योंकि वो अक्सर डींगे मारता था. Think of it like this. If you constantly feel small, you might try to talk big to compensate. It's a defense mechanism.
एक real life example is like someone on social media who constantly posts about their achievements or expensive things just to get validation.
Exactly. राइटर एलन डे बोटॉन ने ईगो को एक लीकी बलून से कंपेयर किया है, जिसे हमेशा बाहर से वैलिडेशन की हवा चाहिए. कर्णा का बदबुलापन, उसका बोस्टफुलनेस, अपने उसी लीकी बलून को भरने की एक कांस्टेंट कोशिश थी.
उसकी इनसिक्योरिटी उसे बोस्टफुल बनाती है. भीष्म तक उसे कहते हैं तुम गरजते हो पर तुम में पांडवों जैसी आत्मा का एक अंश भी नहीं.
और ये उसे और ज्यादा हर्ट करता है, जिससे वो और ज्यादा बोस्ट करता है. इट्स अ विशियस साइकिल.
तो ये उसकी पर्सनालिटी का एक कोर फ्लॉ बन जाता है.
बिल्कुल. His need for approval makes him loud and sometimes obnoxious, which pushes away the very people whose respect he craves.
तो पहला क्वेश्चन, क्या कर्णा का बोस्टफुलनेस सिर्फ इनसिक्योरिटी थी या उसमें थोड़ा एरोगेंस भी था बिकॉज ही न्यू ही वाज स्किल्ड?
It's a mix of both. उसको अपनी स्किल्स पर पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस था, पर जब आपको कॉन्स्टेंटली प्रूव करना पड़े तो कॉन्फिडेंस कब एरोगेंस बन जाता है पता नहीं चलता.
सेकंड क्वेश्चन, डिड हिज बोस्टिंग एवर वर्क अगेंस्ट हिम इन अ बैटल?
डेफिनेटली. कई बार उसने ओवर प्रॉमिस किया इन फ्रंट ऑफ दुर्योधना, जिसके प्रेशर में आकर उसने रैश डिसीजंस लिए. हिज वर्ड्स ऑफन ट्रैप्ड हिम.
थर्ड, डू यू थिंक अगर उसे स्टार्टिंग से ही रिस्पेक्ट मिलता वो इतना बोस्टफुल होता?
नॉट एट ऑल. आई थिंक ही वुड हैव बीन अ मच क्वाइटर, मोर कॉन्फिडेंट वॉरियर. हिज लाउडनेस वाज अ क्राई फॉर रिकग्निशन. थोड़ा सोच लो इस बारे में.
फोर्थ, भीष्मा का कमेंट क्या वो कर्णा को सुधारने के लिए था या जस्ट टू पुट हिम डाउन?
भीष्मा's motives are complex. वो शायद कर्णा को डिसिप्लिन करना चाहते थे, but his words were too harsh and probably did more damage than good. He failed to see the wound behind the boasting.
Last question, how can we differentiate between healthy self-confidence and this kind of Vaikartana boastfulness today?
Healthy confidence comes from within. It doesn't need constant external approval. Vaikartana, on the other hand, is performative. It's for an audience. समझे?
Got it. Okay, practice this. Practice saying, Karna's boastfulness was not arrogance. It was the sound of a leaky ego desperately seeking validation.
Good one.
Mini recap. In short, Karna's status anxiety manifested as boastfulness, a defense mechanism to hide his deep-seated insecurity about his social standing.
चलें आगे?
हाँ. Topic 6, Modern Society and Status Anxiety. Broad micro theme. The universal and timeless nature of this struggle.
Okay, heading The Age of Envy.
इसका डेफिनेशन सिंपल है. आज की सोसाइटी में स्टेटस एंजाइटी पहले से कहीं ज्यादा है, थैंक्स टू सोशल मीडिया.
Right. Real life example. आप Instagram खोलते हो. Your friend is on a vacation in Europe. Another bought a new car. A third got a big promotion. Immediately you feel a pang of envy. You start comparing your life to their highlight reel. That's modern status anxiety.
सो बैकग्राउंड ये है कि पहले लोगों का रेफरेंस ग्रुप छोटा होता था, उनके गांव के लोग, उनके रिश्तेदार.
Exactly. अब हमारा रेफरेंस ग्रुप पूरी दुनिया है. We are constantly comparing ourselves to the most successful people on the planet. इससे एक poverty of desire create होती है. हमारे पास सब कुछ है, but we feel poor because we see others who have more.
को लॉजिक. स्टेटस एंजाइटी दो चीजों से बढ़ती है, एनवी एंड अ फीलिंग ऑफ बीइंग इनविजिबल और अनइम्पोर्टेंट. पुराने टाइम में ये बर्थ से डिफाइन होता था. आज इट्स डिफाइंड बाय करियर, वेल्थ एंड ऑनलाइन लाइक्स.
सही. और इसका रियल वर्ल्ड इम्पैक्ट बहुत डेंजरस हो सकता है. It leads to depression, anxiety, and even extreme actions.
जैसे
The source gives a shocking modern example. Praveen Mahajan shooting his powerful politician brother, Pramod Mahajan. His confessed reason, he ignored me. He had mistaken me for a newspaper delivery boy. This shows how the feeling of being treated as a nobody can lead to extreme actions.
दैट्स चिलिंग. सो कर्णा की स्टोरी इज अ वार्निंग फॉर आवर टाइम्स.
First question. Do you think social media is the main cause of status anxiety today? Or does it just amplify an existing human problem?
I think it just amplifies it. The need for status is ancient. Social media is just a new, more powerful tool to measure it.
सही है. Second, how can one combat this age of envy?
The source quotes a friend's aunt. You'll waste a lot less time worrying about what others think of you if only you realized how seldom they do.
Basically, people are too busy with their own lives to constantly judge you.
True. Third question. Is there a positive side to status anxiety? Can it motivate people to achieve more?
To some extent, yes. A desire to improve your standing can be a powerful motivator. But when it becomes an obsession, it becomes destructive. जैसे कर्णा के केस में हुआ.
Fourth, the Pramod Mahajan example is extreme. What are some everyday consequences of status anxiety?
Getting into debt to buy things you can't afford. Choosing a career you hate for the prestige. Feeling miserable because you don't have enough followers. The list is long.
Last one. Is it even possible to be free of status anxiety in a capitalist, competitive world?
Maybe not completely free, but we can manage it by focusing on our own definition of success, not society's. By building what they call quiet confidence.
Practice the sentence. In the modern world, the battlefield of Kurukshetra has been replaced by the endless scroll of a social media feed.
Powerful.
Mini recap. In short, status anxiety is not a historical problem but a modern epidemic fueled by social media and a culture of constant comparison.
Now let's talk about the system that created Karna's problem.
Topic 7. The Indian caste system and dharma. Broad micro theme. The conflict between prescribed duties swadharma and universal human values.
ठीक है. Heading: The cage of Varna.
Iska definition? The caste system, or Varna system, was a traditional social hierarchy in India that divided people into 4 main groups: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Your Varna was determined by birth, and it dictated your profession, your duties, swadharma, and your social standing.
A real-life example would be, well, the entire story of Karna. He had the abilities of a Kshatriya, warrior, but was born into the family of a Suta, charioteer, which was considered a lower caste. He was trapped in a cage, not of his making.
So, the background is this rigid social order. Dharma, in this context, meant following the rules of your Varna without question. A Brahman's dharma was to learn and teach. A Kshatriya's was to fight and rule. A Suta's was to be a charioteer.
Exactly. The core logic of Karna's conflict is this. Should he follow the dharma prescribed to him by his birth, Swadharma of a Suta, or the dharma that his own nature, Swabhav and skills pointed to, that of a Kshatriya? This creates a huge internal and external conflict.
And the real-world impact is that it created a system where merit was often suppressed in favor of birthright. It was a source of immense injustice.
Bilkul, Duryodhana's question, how could a doe give birth to a tiger, challenges this very foundation. He argues for a dharma based on merit, not birth. That makes him a subversive figure in the epic.
So was Duryodhana's liberal attitude seen as a good thing by the epic's authors?
Actually, no. The source says Duryodhana's liberal attitude was seen as corruption by the epic poets. क्योंकि traditional view में social order, Varna system, maintain करना ही धर्म था. Duryodhana, by promoting Karna, was disrupting that order. This was seen as a sign of chaos and adharma.
Acha, that's a very interesting point. So the epic itself is complex on this issue.
Absolutely. Second question. How did Karna himself view his dharma?
He seems to have created his own dharma based on values like loyalty, gratitude, and keeping one's word. He prioritized his friendship with Duryodhana over everything else.
Sahi. Third, is the concept of swadharma still relevant today?
In a way, yes. People often talk about finding their calling or their true purpose. That's a modern interpretation of finding one's swabhav and making it their swadharma, regardless of their background.
Good connection. Fourth. Besides Karna, are there other characters in the Mahabharata who challenge the Varna system?
Ekalavya is the most tragic example. He was an even more direct victim of the system's cruelty.
Bilkul. We'll come to him. Last question. How does this cage of Varna relate to status anxiety?
The cage itself creates the anxiety. When your worth is predetermined and fixed at birth, you are either born with status or you're born with an anxiety to gain it, a struggle that might never end.
Perfectly linked. Now let's practice. Practice saying, Karna's life was a battle between two dharmas. the dharma of birth, swadharma, and the dharma of his inner nature, swabhava.
Mini recap. In short, the rigid Indian caste system created an unsolvable dilemma for Karna, forcing him to choose between the duty of his birth and the calling of his innate abilities.
Now for a very modern parallel.
Topic 8. Affirmative action and the merit debate. Broad micro theme, the modern debate on social justice versus pure meritocracy.
Heading, Drona's dilemma, reservation in the modern age.
Definition. Affirmative action or reservation in the Indian context is a policy of providing special opportunities in education and employment to members of historically disadvantaged groups.
A real-life example is the reservation system in Indian colleges and government jobs for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes.
The background to this is the belief that centuries of caste-based discrimination have created a deep-seated disadvantage that cannot be overcome by simply declaring everyone equal.
Exactly. The core logic of the debate mirrors Karna's story. On one side, you have the argument for pure merit. Let the best person win, regardless of background. This is what Karna wanted at the tournament. On the other side, you have the argument for social justice. The system is already rigged in favor of the privileged, like Arjuna. We need to level the playing field.
And the real-world impact is a deeply divisive and politically charged debate in many countries, including India. It raises fundamental questions about fairness and equality.
Say, I want to be very clear here. We are not taking any sides. We are just exploring how the dilemmas in the Mahabharata are reflected in modern debates.
Of course. So, first question. How is Drona's refusal to teach Karna similar to the arguments against affirmative action?
Drona wanted to protect the privilege of his royal students, especially Arjuna. He created an exclusive club. Similarly, some arguments against reservation are about protecting the merit of those who would get in without it, without acknowledging the pre-existing privileges.
Second question. If Karna were alive today, would he be a supporter or a critic of affirmative action?
That's a tough one. On one hand, he would benefit from it. On the other hand, he was someone who wanted to prove himself on his own merit, without any special favors. He might have had a very complicated view.
Third, what does the story of Ekalavya tell us about this debate?
Ekalavya shows the most brutal form of gatekeeping. Drona didn't just refuse to teach him, he took away his ability to ever compete. It shows how the system can actively crush merit from disadvantaged backgrounds.
That's a very powerful point. Fourth, does the epic offer any solution to this dilemma?
The epic doesn't offer easy solutions. It presents the conflict. But Duryodhana's action, making Karna a king, to qualify him, is a kind of ad hoc affirmative action. He changes the rule to include the excluded.
Interesting take. Last question. Is the debate really about merit versus no merit?
Not really. It's more about how do we define and measure merit. Is merit just about scoring high on a test, or does it also include overcoming immense social and economic obstacles to get to that point? Thoda soch lo.
A very important question. Let's practice. Practice saying, Karna's story forces us to ask, is true merit about winning the race, or is it about running the race with weights tied to your ankles?
Perfect analogy.
Mini recap. In short, the story of Karna provides a powerful ancient framework for understanding the complex and sensitive modern debate on affirmative action, merit, and social justice.
Now for the biggest temptation of his life.
Topic 9. Krishna's great temptation and offer. Broad micro theme. The ultimate test of loyalty and identity.
The heading is simple and powerful. The kingdom, the crown, and the queen.
Definition. This is the scene, right before the war, where Krishna reveals Karna's true birth identity to him and offers him everything he ever wanted if he would switch sides.
Real-life example. Imagine you worked for a small, struggling company your whole life out of loyalty to your boss. Suddenly, the CEO of the world's biggest corporation offers you the top job, a huge salary, and everything you've ever dreamed of. What do you do?
That puts it in perspective. So the introduction is that Krishna's peace mission has failed. War is inevitable. He takes Karna alone in his chariot for a private conversation.
And there, he drops the biggest bombshell. He reveals Tum Kunti ke putra ho, sabse bade Pandav. He is not a Sutaputra. He is the rightful heir to the throne.
And the core logic is the offer itself. It was designed to be irresistible. Krishna says, पांडवों की तरफ आ जाओ, तुम राजा बनोगे, युधिष्ठिर तुम्हारे पीछे छत्र लेकर चलेगा, भीम पंखा झलेगा.
और सबसे बड़ा टेम्पटेशन, और द्रौपदी, वो भी तुम्हें पत्नी के रूप में प्राप्त होगी.
Wait, Draupadi too, the woman who rejected him. Krishna was literally offering to heal his deepest wound.
Exactly. या उस जख्म को अपने फायदे के लिए इस्तेमाल कर रहे थे. It was a master stroke of diplomacy and psychological manipulation. Rajya, status, izzat, or a final victory over the woman who humiliated him. This was the complete package.
And the real-world impact of the scene is that it sets up Karna's finest moment. His response defines his character forever.
So, first question, was Krishna's offer a genuine attempt to save Karna, or was it a purely strategic move to weaken the Kaurava army?
It's always a mix with Krishna. He probably did feel for Karna, but his primary dharma was to ensure the Pandavas' victory. Removing Karna, the biggest threat to Arjuna, was strategically brilliant.
Sahi hai. Second, why did Krishna include Draupadi in the offer? Wasn't that a bit manipulative?
It was extremely manipulative. Krishna knew that the Swayambara rejection was Karna's deepest psychological wound. By offering Draupadi, he was trying to address that specific pain point.
Third, What does this offer tell us about the nature of status?
It shows that status can be given. Krishna was offering to bestow upon him the status he had fought for his whole life. This sets up the contrast with the status Karna finally chooses, which is earned through loyalty.
Good point. Fourth, if Karna had accepted, would the Pandavas have really accepted him as their king?
Yudhishthir, being the man of dharma he was, probably would have. He valued seniority. But Bhima, I doubt it. It would have created a whole new set of conflicts within the family.
True. Last question. How does this scene elevate Krishna's character?
It shows his pragmatism. He is willing to use any means necessary, revelations, temptations, psychological tactics, to establish dharma. He's not a passive god. He's an active player in the game. Okay, let's practice this. Practice saying, Krishna's offer was the ultimate test. Would Karna choose the status given to him by birth or the identity he had forged through his life's choices?
Perfect.
Mini recap. In short, Krishna presents Karna with an irresistible offer of a kingdom, respect, and revenge, forcing him to make the most important decision of his life.
And now for the answer. The triumph of personal integrity over worldly ambition.
Heading: the victory of the soul.
Definition: this is Karna's response to Krishna, where he rejects the offer of a kingdom and chooses to remain loyal to Duryodhana.
A real-life example, Edward Snowden. He had a high-paying, comfortable job and status. He gave it all up for a principle he believed in, knowing he would become an outcast. His choice was about integrity over personal gain.
So Krishna has made his mind-blowing offer. The world is at Karna's feet, and he refuses. Why?
यहीं पर कर्ण बनता है. His refusal is calm, logical, and full of dignity. He gives two main reasons. First, about his identity. He says, मेरी असली माँ कुंती नहीं, राधा है, जिसने मुझे पाला. मेरा असली पिता अधिराथा है. असली रिश्ता खून का नहीं, प्यार का होता है.
Wow. He's rejecting the very idea of birth-based identity.
बिल्कुल. Second, about his loyalty. He says, मेरी वफादारी दुर्योधन के लिए है, जिसने तब मेरा हाथ थामा जब मेरे पास कुछ नहीं था. अब उसे छोड़ना अधर्म होगा. He essentially says that his gratitude to Duryodhana is a debt he must repay, even with his life.
So in that one moment, the thing he chased his whole life status was offered to him on a platter?
Yes, उस एक पल में उसने जन्म पर आधारित स्टेटस को पूरी तरह रिजेक्ट कर दिया और कर्म और वफादारी पर आधारित पहचान को चुना. He became free from his status anxiety. उस पल में उसने अपनी आत्मा की जीत हासिल कर ली. This is his defining moment of heroism.
First question. Was his refusal a noble act or a foolish one? He could have prevented the war.
From a pragmatic point of view, it was foolish. He chose the losing side. But from the point of view of his personal dharma, it was the only choice he could make. It was an act of supreme integrity.
Second, by choosing Duryodhana, wasn't he choosing adharma over dharma?
This is the great complexity of the Mahabharata. For Karna, loyalty to a friend who stood by him was his highest dharma. It clashed with the larger societal dharma that Krishna represented. He chose his personal dharma.
I see. Third, what does this say about his relationship with his foster parents?
It shows immense love and respect. In a society obsessed with royal bloodlines, he declares that the parents who raised him are his true parents. It's a radical statement about nurture over nature.
Fourth, did this refusal finally end his status anxiety?
I believe so. By rejecting the ultimate status symbol, the throne of Hastinapur, he proved to himself that his self-worth was no longer tied to external validation. It now came from his own principles.
Final question. Karna also asks Krishna to keep his identity a secret from the Pandavas. Why?
It's another noble act. He explains that if Yudhishthir knew, he would offer the kingdom to Karna out of respect for the elder brother. Karna would then be obligated to give it to his friend, Duryodhana. To avoid this complicated mess, he chooses to let the secret die with him.
Incredible. Okay, practice time. Practicing. In his refusal, Karna taught that true status is not what the world gives you, but what you refuse to give up.
Beautiful.
Mini recap. In short, Karna rejects Krishna's offer, choosing an identity based on love and loyalty over one based on birth, thus achieving a victory of character and freeing himself from his lifelong status anxiety. Topic 21. Status anxiety as a universal problem. Broad micro-theme. The human need for importance and the dangers of ignoring it.
Heading: how could a dog give birth to a tiger?
Iska definition? This section concludes that Karna's problem, status anxiety, is not unique to him or his time. It's a universal human condition that we all face.
The source gives that shocking modern example we discussed. Praveen Mahajan shooting his brother Pramod Mahajan. His reason? He ignored me. It shows how being treated as a nobody can lead to extreme actions.
तो करना की स्टोरी हम सबको आईना दिखाते हैं. हम सब important feel करना चाहते हैं. We want to be noticed. No one wants to be neglected.
Bilkul. This anxiety stems from an excessive concern about what others think of us. It leads to destructive emotions like envy, which we see in Duryodhana, and a constant need for validation, which we see in Karna.
So what's the solution?
The solution, as suggested by the text, is to worry less about others' opinions. A friend's aunt's advice is quoted. You'll waste a lot less time worrying about what others think of you if only you realized how seldom they do. Philosopher Albert Camus adds, to be happy, one must not be too concerned with the opinion of others.
Understanding this helps us empathize with Karna's actions. We see why he was so boastful or overly generous. It also makes us question society's role. Should a person's value be defined by birth or by accomplishment?
Exactly. Duryodhana's question, how could a doe give birth to a tiger, challenges the very foundation of the caste system. It proposes a new dharma, one based on deserved status, not inherited status. This makes Karna a subversive and revolutionary character.
The Praveen Mahajan example is chilling. Is status anxiety really that powerful?
Yes, the need for recognition is a fundamental human drive. When it's completely denied, it can lead to rage and despair, as William James predicted.
So the advice is to just don't care what people think? Is that practical?
It's not about not caring at all, but about not letting your self-worth be held hostage by others' opinions. It's about building quiet confidence in your own goals and values. Thoda soch lo, it's easier said than done.
The source says Duryodhana's liberal attitude was seen as corruption by the epic poets. Why?
Because in the traditional view, maintaining the social order, Varna system, was dharma. Duryodhana, by promoting Karna, was disrupting that order. This was seen as a sign of chaos and adharma.
So was Karna the right man in the wrong party?
That's a very popular modern interpretation. Karna's values of loyalty and friendship were noble, but his alliance with the adharmic Duryodhana led him down the wrong path.
Did Karna ever overcome his status anxiety?
In his final moments, I believe he did. When he chose loyalty to Duryodhan over the kingdom offered by Krishna, he rejected the very status he had craved his whole life. In that choice, he found his true, noble self.
Okay, let's practice this. Practice saying, Karna's story teaches that while status anxiety is a universal human struggle, true nobility lies in defining your own dharma, independent of society's judgment.
Sahi hai.
Mini recap. In short, Karna's struggle with status anxiety is a timeless human problem, forcing us to question whether status should be inherited by birth or earned through merit.
And now for the final analysis.
Topic 22. Final analysis. The tragic hero. Broad micro-theme. Legacy of a flawed but admirable hero.
Heading, the most lamented hero of the war.
Definition. This is the final verdict on Karna's character. Despite his flaws, he is admired for his courage, loyalty, and generosity, making him a tragic hero who rose above his difficult circumstances.
A good real-life example. Think of a brilliant athlete from a poor background who joins a team with a notorious reputation out of loyalty to a coach who first believed in them. They might make morally questionable choices with that team, but we still admire their personal loyalty and talent. That's Karna.
So life may have been unfair to Karna, but he rises above pity. We don't just feel sorry for him, we admire him.
Yes, but his flaws are significant. His lack of restraint, his boastfulness, and especially his cruel words to Draupadi. These are not ignored.
However, his virtues shine brighter. He rejected the ultimate temptation from Krishna. He chose his foster parents over his royal mother, thereby rejecting birth as the source of identity. He remained loyal to his friend Duryodhana, even though it meant being on the losing side.
His life demonstrates that true dharma is not the swadharma of caste, but the sadharan dharma of truth, commitment, and friendship. This is why his story is still sung in villages across India. He represents the struggle of the underdog.
How can he be a hero if he was on the side of adharma?
That's the complexity of the Mahabharata. It doesn't have black and white characters. Karna's personal dharma conflicted with the larger societal dharma. He made a choice. We may not agree with it, but we can respect his commitment.
The text says he acknowledges where there is dharma, there is victory. Isn't that hypocritical?
Not necessarily. He believed his personal dharma of loyalty was the right path. He hoped that by following it, victory would be his. He was wrong, but he was being true to his own principles.
What is the single biggest lesson from Karna's life for a 10th grade student today?
That your circumstances don't have to define you. You will face labels and judgments, but your character is defined by the choices you make, especially the difficult ones. Choose loyalty, keep your word, and be generous.
Why is he the most lamented hero? More than, say, Abhimanyu?
Abhimanyu's death was tragic, but it was the death of an innocent. Karna's tragedy is the tragedy of a whole life of what-ifs. What if Kunti had kept him? What if Drona had taught him? What if Draupadi hadn't rejected him? The lament is for his wasted potential and the injustice he faced from birth to death.
In the end, did he win? Not the war, but in his personal quest.
I think he did. He sought recognition his whole life, but in the end, he chose integrity over recognition. By rejecting Krishna's offer, he became the master of his own identity. That's a victory of character. Cool, na?
Very cool. Okay, practice this final thought. Karna's life was a battle against his circumstances, and while he lost the war on the battlefield, he won the war for his own soul by staying true to his word.
A perfect summary.
Mini recap. In short, despite his flaws and his place on the losing side, Karna is remembered as a noble and tragic hero for his unwavering loyalty, generosity, and ultimate rejection of status by birth.
Phew. What a journey.
So, that was the incredible, complex, and tragic story of Karna. We explored the struggle for recognition in a hierarchical society. हमने देखा कि कैसे एक warrior की grand entry उसके lifelong struggle for status की शुरुआत बनी.
We unpacked the pain of being judged by birth rather than merit, through the insults of Bhima and the rejection by Draupadi.
We analyzed how this status anxiety shaped his character, making him boastful yet also incredibly loyal and generous.
And finally, we saw his ultimate act of nobility, choosing loyalty to his friend and his principles over the biggest prize in the world, a kingdom.
अब आपके लिए कुछ सवाल थोड़ा सोच लो। नंबर 1, अगर आप कर्णा की जगह होते और कृष्णा ने आपको किंगडम ऑफर किया होता, आप क्या चूज करते? स्टेटस या लॉयल्टी?
2. क्या दुर्योधन एक सच्चा दोस्त था या वो सिर्फ कर्ण को यूज कर रहा था?
3, क्या द्रौपदी का कर्ण को रिजेक्ट करना जस्टिफाइड था?
4. मॉडर्न सोसाइटी में स्टेटस एंजाइटी का सबसे बड़ा सोर्स क्या है? वेल्थ, करियर या सोशल मीडिया?
5, कर्ण और एकलव्य की स्टोरीज में से कौन सी स्टोरी आज के इंडिया से ज्यादा रेजोनेट करती है एंड व्हाई?
एंड नंबर 6. क्या कर्ण को एक हीरो कहना आसान है, knowing his role in Draupadi's humiliation?
Here's a simple challenge for you, दोस्त। अगली बार जब आप किसी दोस्त से मिलो, try explaining Karna's moral dilemma in under 60 seconds. देखो कि आप उसकी ट्रेजेडी का कोर एसेंस कैप्चर कर पाते हो या नहीं।
And a final provocative thought. The epic tells us Karna was a would-be Kshatriya, but his entire life was a testament to the idea that true Kshatriya qualities, courage, loyalty, and generosity are not about birth, but about action. तो सवाल ये है, क्या कर्ण सिर्फ एक would-be क्षत्रिय था या वो उन सबसे बड़ा क्षत्रिय था जिन्होंने उसे जज किया? सोचिएगा जरूर।
अरे उम्मीद है कि ये गहरी चर्चा आपको पसंद आई होगी। अगर हाँ, तो कमेंट्स में जरूर बताना कि आपको कर्णा के कैरेक्टर का कौन सा एस्पेक्ट सबसे पावरफुल लगा। And of course, for more such amazing explorations, subscribe to The Deep Dive, share it with your friends, and stay curious.